want to talk about the relationship between time freedom and financial freedom. I always say when you're young, you have lots of time, but no money. But as you get more money, you should be able to buy back some time. Here's how I've done that in my life. So I remember when I was a teacher, I said to my wife one day, I said, I'll never pay anyone to do the yard work. And she said, why? And I said, because why would I pay someone to do the yard work when I can do the yard work? That makes no sense. I can do it. Why would I pay someone? And you know how it is when you're married for a long time like I have been. Your partner doesn't forget things. They bring things up years later. Well, anyway, years later, I was actually hanging out with another entrepreneur friend of mine. And he said, what are you doing this week? And I said, oh, I got to do the yard work. And he said, do you like doing the yard work? And I said, I hate doing the yard work. He said, then why are you doing the yard work? And I said, because why would I pay someone to do the yard work when I can do the yard work? And he said, well, let's pull out a piece of paper and find out what your time's worth. And he did a simple equation. He found out how much revenue was generated based on my efforts and how many hours a year I worked. And I just did that little division and we came up with a number. And he said, do you know, you could work 1 extra hour doing something you love and pay for an entire year of having the yard done for you. And that struck me. At that moment, I thought, boy, I've been stupid. Because I was raised in such a frugal family, I thought that spending money is always a mistake if you don't have to spend the money. That buys back time. And time can be more valuable than money once you get money. So that's one example. Another example was I've worked out in the gym for my whole life. And when COVID hit, they closed down all the gyms. So it was making me crazy trying to work out in the home with bands and push-ups and all that kind of stuff. And a personal trainer I know said, Jim, I can get you in a gym, just you and me to work out, but you have to pay me. And I thought, I've never wanted to pay a personal trainer because why would I pay someone when I know how to work out in a gym. I've worked out in a gym for decades. So I had no choice, so I said, okay. 10 days later, it struck me. I just had the best 10 days of working out that I've had in probably a decade. So I hired him. And then I noticed something else interesting. I freed up time and energy. How? Because on Sundays, I used to think about, okay, what are my workouts this week? On the day of my workout, I'd say, what am I doing? What kind of reps? What sets? What am I doing to work out? All that was gone. I just show up and this guy has it all mapped out for me and takes me through the workout. Another one is we hired a personal assistant to do things like our grocery shopping. I used to do all the grocery shopping. I didn't hate it. It was okay. But it was not a good use of my time because I can spend my time doing things that turn into more money and also things that are more valuable to me, quality time with family and friends. And here was my argument when my wife was like, this is stupid. We should hire someone that does the grocery shopping. This is what came out of my mouth. This will show how silly this is. I said, no one can pick out avocados the way I pick out avocados. And my wife said, really? You don't think you could go once to the grocery store and show someone how you pick out avocados and no one else is such a skill set that no one can pick out avocados the way you do? And I realized that's ridiculous. I have to admit, there are occasions when I go, avocados aren't exactly the way I would pick them out. But the time that's freed up by outsourcing some of those things has been really huge for my relationships and for my business. So what you have to ask yourself is, do you have extra time or extra money? If you have extra time, that's when you put that time toward developing skills, toward creating different income streams, through developing skills so that you can expand and grow. If you have no time but money, you can buy back time by outsourcing some of the things that you think only you can do or that only you should do. Instead, you can buy back time by hiring other people to do that who are at a much lower level of value per hour, cost per hour, than what you would be doing otherwise with your time. How has wealth and financial security enhanced my life, my wife Mimi's life, in what we can do, what we can experience? And I have to tell you, it has in a lot of ways. You know, people say money doesn't buy happiness, but I can tell you what, money can create freedom for experiences and to enjoy life in a way that you can't when you don't have money. And these are as simple as the conveniences of flying first class or having a black car take us from the airport, people who know our name where I don't have to try to hail a cab and that kind of stuff. There are a lot of ways that we have benefits that we couldn't have had otherwise. Traveling to Europe, going to places that we've never seen, enjoying meals that we couldn't afford when we were young, hanging out with people in venues and environments that we could never afford to get into before. You know, I think about some of the things when it comes to what money has done for freedom, and one of the best examples is, you know, we live in Arizona. I was born and raised in Arizona, and in the summer it gets about 101 degrees. I think that's the average, 101 degrees or so during the summer. And my wife was always like, one day we're gonna leave Arizona and spend time in a cooler climate when we have the money. And that happened in 2014, where my wife said, we have the money, we're getting out of Arizona, and we ended up spending a month in Park City, Utah. And I was nervous And I said, I don't know, can we run the business being that far away? And can we really afford it? Because I was raised in a mindset of frugality and a mindset of scarcity. And my wife Mimi said, well, I'm going with or without you. I'm not sucking up another summer in Arizona. And so we went, obviously, and spent a month. And it turns out the business grew. It turns out we could afford it. And we've done that every year since. And now it's 6 weeks that we spend in Park City every summer to get out of the Arizona heat. That's a huge benefit that we didn't have when we didn't have money. It allows us to buy things and experience things that we couldn't otherwise. So does money buy happiness? Not really. I think it accentuates your life. It accentuates who you are. If you're a jerk, you're a bigger jerk. If you're a giving person, you're a more giving person. But it also enables you to have experiences and opportunities and conveniences that increase the quality of your life. But ultimately, obviously, you need relationships. That's a key to happiness. You have to have fulfillment. You have to feel that you're growing in some way in your life. Growth and progress is one of the keys to happiness. But money has certainly helped us suffer in a nicer part of town. One benefit that having financial flexibility and freedom gives you is the ability to try new things and attack new ventures. And that's happened to me because you might know, if you've tried to follow me, that I really was not existent on social media for many years. Even family and friends would say, you're never on social media. Like, how do we even get you to respond? And I said, well, I have this thing called a phone. You could text or call. But because I have the financial flexibility and the time flexibility, I was able to start this endeavor to say, hey, why don't I see if anyone's interested out there in the world to learn about what I know and learn about me and learn about my wife, Mimi. And we were able to jump into that endeavor. So we've been active. I've been way more active in social media, and I'm just kind of putting my toe in the water and seeing, do people really care? Do they want to hear what I have to say? Can I add value to other people, to their lives? And so far, the response has been really good. So it looks like organically people do want to know some of the things that I have to share from my almost 30 years of being in and around businesses. So that's been a big thing, trying this new endeavor on social media. We'll see. Hopefully you like it because you're the one that gets to vote whether I keep doing it or not. But it's been exciting and interesting. And I kind of like being able to try something totally new that I've never done before, not because I really have some end goal in mind about, oh, we can make this much money or we can do something or another thing. It's really just, hey, I want to try this and see if I could add value and people really care to listen to what I have to say. It's interesting. The most selfish thing you can do is give to others. And I say that because when you give to others, you feel fantastic. If you haven't given to anyone recently, give to someone and you'll feel how good that feels to you. And when you have more money, you can do more for charity. You can do more for causes you care about. You can take care of people you love. And that's happened to me and my wife, Mimi. By gathering more assets, by having more wealth, we can easily make a difference in charities and the lives of people who are less fortunate than us. So just in the last few days, this is just the last few days, we got a call from a charity that we support in the Phoenix area. It's called New Pathways for Youth. And they called us up and they said, hey, would you like to create a scholarship for one of our kids so that they can have a scholarship to go to college to further themselves? And these are young people that come from very tough beginnings. And here was the cool thing. I said, how much are we talking? And they told us, and we said, done. I asked my wife and she said, yeah, write the check. We didn't have to sleep on it. We didn't have to scrimp and save the next 6 months so we could give it. We could just give. And that caused me to pause for a second and say, that's really cool. I wonder how that feels not to be able to do that. And then I remembered, oh, I know what that feels like, because for most of our lives, if someone asks us for a donation, someone doing a March of Dimes walk, how much would you like? Well, it'd be nice if you gave 20 bucks or 100 bucks. 100 bucks? I can't give $100 to a charity. Now it's tens of thousands that we can just give because it feels right and because we say, yeah, we want to make a difference. We can make that gift. And I can't tell you how much that means on the back end. And you may right now not really think about giving back, but the wealthiest people I know who are the most fulfilled, who have the most joy, they give and they give a lot because they can, because they've done all the work to create the wealth. But creating the wealth is one thing. Giving it away is so much more satisfying. So if you have an idea that I can't wait till I get that car or live in that house or take that vacation, that's great. And you're going to have fun doing that. But you know what's going to be the most powerful is when you can give to someone less fortunate to you in a dramatic and powerful way, and you give a lot of money and you do it without effort or without thought or without fear. That's going to make you feel better than any of the other things that you can buy for yourself. I covered a lot and about the balance between financial freedom and time freedom and how you can have both if you do things right and you make the discipline effort over time. And remember, the physical things, the cool things you buy for yourself, that's fun. You're going to do some of that, but the giving to others, that's where the real meaning in life comes from. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below and hope to see you on the next video.